I have your Google list here too. They think
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome back to Politics But Funny. That's what's happening today. It's the Friday speed review of the week in politics. We're just going to slap our jokes all over their serious world. That's what we do, right?
That's right.
I'm Dr. Dan. And my guest host today, this guy has 5 Emmys for actually doing this stuff for money. You know, we were talking about this earlier. Like, this is essentially the same thing we do for money.
Yeah, back in the money days. Back when that was a thing.
Back when they gave you money for your work as opposed to, podcasts.
Yeah, there's more time. You got more time. We'll give you as much time as you want.
But I'm probably going to rebrand this. I think it's kind of fun to do it just as these are the writers. Like if you let the writers loose to do the talk show and you got rid of the talent and you got rid of the filter, this is kind of what you would get.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Get rid of everything that people tune in for and really cut to the, that's right.
Cut to the,
well, they want, actually, I'm kidding, but they like the funny. So it's like, I don't really know who that actress is. And she's but the jokes are good about her. So yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, right? The writer's room, 80-90% of the jokes just stay back there. Nobody ever gets to hear them. And those are usually the good jokes.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah, exactly. And then, then everyone gets, it's like, okay, you get the crusts, the comedy crusts. And then meanwhile, we get the peanut butter and jelly on the nice, white bread.
Yeah. People can't handle the truth. You can't handle the comedy.
Yeah, you can't. That's right.
Well, you're going to get a little bit.
It should be not. Yeah, we'll get that. That's right.
All right. So let's go. Let's through the week. I'm just going to hit stories that happened this week. I took notes, and Eddie's going to jump in and tag things with his taggable mind, and off we'll go. So I did notice that it's been kind of nice not having a psychotic in the White House.
Yeah, I notice it like every 3 seconds.
It's like you literally wake up and you're not afraid to turn on the computer.
No, well, you know what I liken it now to is like, some crazy maniac who's throwing his own shit at the bus stop. And then you get home and you realize it's like, wait, my mother just married that guy. He's in my house every day. The crazy guy from the bus stop's in my house throwing shit and she loves him. And there's nothing I can do.
Oh, yeah, that's it exactly. He's a stepdad. He was an American stepdad.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. A psychotic stepdad is like, hey, and then lying every step of the way, lying every bit.
Yeah.
Can I have an allowance? Like, I gave you that allowance. Like, oh, no, you didn't. You stole that allowance out of my drawer. Yeah, I gave it to you.
That's great. It was Groundhog Day this week. Republicans saw Trump's shadow. So 6 more weeks of sedition.
Yeah, I definitely think that sedition is not going away.
They like that brand.
Phil, what?
They like that brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Turn
need a jingle
it.
for
like,
it.
Hey, it worked once, I guess, somewhere. Has America ever been overthrown by itself?
No, but there's been protests. That's my favorite irony is how people from the Tea Party are against protests. It's like, really? Let me think in American history where we had the name that you chose for your little party. Yeah, Tea Party.
Keep your irony to your liberal self, Eddie.
Yeah.
Irony doesn't belong in this party. Like that's a liberal. Irony is liberal. So just keep it over there.
Here's my irony joke. It's that irony has gone the way of ironing in America.
True. Officer Brian Sicknick was killed in the January 6th insurrection. Was laid in state at the Capitol this week. Trump didn't show up, but he did call in to pay his disrespects.
Yeah, he wasn't making that call.
That guy also lying in state his political career. I think they should just put that in a big coffin.
Yeah, you know what? The jury's still, I don't see it coming back, but there are many who do. Some of them on my Facebook page.
You got to put a stake through him somehow, right? It's got to be some kind of silver stake that you can put through that political career that he's not rising from the dead. There's something.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a silver bullet, but I have a feeling that he would then go and try to sell it in the gift shop.
I always like the fact that Pence looks like an undead vampire. Like he looks like the kind of guy you'll see again in 1,000 years.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he is that Barnabas from Collins, which I never watched that show, but I will use the reference. Yeah, it's just a weird, more so than dead. It's just the so fake patter that really got to me. Anytime I hear him speak, it was like the insincerity. And yeah, maybe you need 1,000 years to kind of breed that.
Yeah, maybe. So listen to this. Just tell me how this sounds, okay? Like if you heard this news story. Today, the British Prime Minister appeared at a rally and told his followers to go after the monarchy, and thousands are now storming Buckingham Palace looking to hang whoever they can catch. Does that sound weird? Like,
sounds
if that
familiar.
happened?
Yeah, sounds very, yeah. Anybody have antlers that was in there?
And that's a country where, they killed a lot of monarchs back in the day. I went back and watched Macbeth this week, and watching this, thinking of in terms of like, all the people were the kings just killed each other to get in power. And then they had to kill everybody that was in the family to stay in power. And they had to kill everybody who liked the family. So like there was a real transition of power.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend the Netflix series, The Last Kingdom, which is like, there's 5 years of it, which is brilliant. And it takes just exactly that, all under the name of God, we're killing people and torturing them.
I don't know. I was watching that show, and I don't know how well your Shakespeare, but there's the whole Lady Macbeth, and trying to get the blood off of her hands. And I was thinking, like, I couldn't have a dog named Spot, because every time I let him out, I couldn't get that out of my head. I'd be like, out, damn Spot. He would just he'd be like, every time. There's a Missouri politician, House of Representatives from the Missouri State Legislature, who was accused this week of injecting patients. She's a doctor's assistant, physician's assistant, not really a doctor. Injecting patients with amniotic fluid and claiming that there were stem cells that they could use as treatment for COVID. But there were no stem cells in it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that story, and it's like when she was Republican, I believe, right? So the whole, again, it's like, okay, so wait, you're using stem cells, which you're not supposed to use if you're a Republican and you're pro-life. Like everything about this woman is just wrong. It's like she just has the label completely wrong. Yeah.
But that's so fun. Like amniotic fluid. It's like, hey, honey, my water broke, but the good news, my cough is awesome. Like I feel so much better. We need to get in here and snort. Get the kids in here to snort this stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just more misinformation, and it's like, yeah, but I can make a few dollars off of it.
Did you see the fitness instructor video where she was dancing in front of the military as they were driving
the coup? Yeah,
to the palace for the coup? That was awesome. I was like, what was she dancing to? Like the Nero Fiddle Concerto 4?
It's yeah.
What's a good music for a coup?
I don't know, but it's like Cruisercise. It's like, hey, everybody, Cruisercise with me. Yeah, dance to the rhythm of the tanks going in. Yeah, I'm sure that, I enjoyed that one, I have to say.
Yeah, so there's a woman from Midland who had been arrested for storming the Capitol, and she asked the judge this week to let her go on vacation to Mexico. Did you see that?
Yeah, once again, this fits into the amniotic fluid. It's like, wait, as a MAGA, I thought you didn't like Mexico, but now you're going there on a vacation after you stormed the Capitol. Yeah. Way to go. Way to really dive deep into this world.
Well, in her
Maybe she could
defense,
right,
treason is exhausting. You know, you have to,
need a break.
you need to reset after you try to tear down the American democratic system.
Well, and you know what? Yeah, nothing soothes sedition like a nice Mai Tai south of the border. Yeah.
Uh,
The only thing that could make it better is if she was then down there using that amniotic fluid and making money, that way too. It'd be combined. She should get together with that woman, form a little partnership.
yeah, that I would watch if those two went down there like a girls' weekend with Marjorie Taylor Greene and those two, and they just got drunk as they could. I would watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would be good TV. So they're still talking about nuking the filibuster. Yeah, I think they should, if for no other reason than it's named filibuster. Like, how'd that become like a real word that's determining all this stuff in our life? Like some kind of flibberty gibbet. What is that? That should be something stronger.
So what you're saying is they should rebrand it.
Yes.
Like they do in Silicon Valley. Like, hey, drop out like a vowel or two, and it's just the consonants in filibuster, or change the word and that sort of thing. Then it'll be okay. Then you can go, I see.
Maybe calling it a enjoyment blockade, or a reasonableness, the death of reasonableness. Something other than filibuster doesn't work for me.
And again, it needs like just one of those new little symbol for it, where you go, oh, or maybe like an emoji. Maybe it's just the filibuster emoji type of thing. Just
like
two arms
bird,
folded.
Like a tweet.
Yeah. It's like two arms folded. It's like, oh, see, it's like with
There's your democracy.
Yeah, that's Trump. Remember Trump sitting there? So it's like, oh, okay. It's like, it's like the body language.
Yeah, I like that. Here's another thought I had about Trump this week. I saw a picture of him. I'm like, I bet you that guy can breathe underwater. There's something amphibian about him.
Well, he definitely can float. He's got the body for it. So,
but I mean, there's like gills under there. Like, if you really, did we ever test this? I've never seen him in the water.
No, I don't see him as a swimmer.
How often do you think he wakes up at night and sees Melania standing next to the bed with a pillow?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure she would even get that close at night, given his past history.
Maybe one of her body doubles. She sends in a body double with a My Pillow.
Yeah, right.
She's got a body triple. She's got a body double for the body double that Trump doesn't know, is actually, a triple agent.
Yeah. She was the only first lady with a seat filler. It's an Oscar reference.
I like it. So big idea this week. Do a couple of things here real quick to finish up. Big idea this week is I started to think, like, is it a weird idea that anybody who rolls the dice of sedition actually loses citizenship? Like, shouldn't they just get stripped of their American citizenship? Doesn't that make more sense?
Maybe. It does. And then they have to earn it back. So you know what? They got to go back and somehow make it across the border and go, back through ICE. And it's like, hey, you have to start all over.
Yeah, again, we'll make a great TV show. Like, we're going to film you from the moment that you get stripped, and we're going to drop you off in Myanmar, in front of a military coup, and you got to make a good video. And, like, I don't know, like, we vote on you each week, whether you get to move closer and closer to the U.S.
Yeah, it's like that old going up chutes and ladders where you're like, hey, I'm almost there, and then whoa, all the way back. Yeah, I kind of like, And maybe that woman that's going to Mexico, that's her thing. It's like, okay, you're in Mexico. Oh, by the way, we took your passport. You can't get back legally. Good luck to you. That might be a good trade-off. It's like, hey, if you make it back and you can make it to your court date as a citizen, we'll drop all charges.
Yeah, that's the Amazing Race right there, right?
Yeah.
So this is the new version of the Amazing Race. We're going to strip all these people and put them out there. And can you get back in time to not be thrown into federal prison?
Yeah, yeah. I think it might be. We might be seeing that. That could be a Hulu show. Pay a little extra. You don't have to watch the commercials.
Well, I think they need to get, like politics has become this dominant force in the last 5 years in our lives because of Trump. They need to start working it backwards into the entertainment, right?
Yeah, he started as in the reality world and just kind of go back there. It's like, yeah, maybe we can just we all start over.
Yes.
You know.
I like it. Strip everybody of their citizenship, and then we just restart.
Make it, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, maybe, you know what? It's like one of those things. Every 5 years, you got to somehow make it back into the country.
Well, I suggested once, like with capitalism, I thought that'd be great. Like every 5 years, they wipe out all the money, and everybody starts again.
Yeah, like a new, yeah, exactly, like Monopoly. It's like we put all the money away, and I go, and it's a new game. Now we start all over, and we start even, and then we see how it goes.
Yeah, then you'll see, that's real free marketism, right? Just we're going to clean the markets every 5 years and there's no rules, go.
Yeah, we start, maybe by the makers of The Purge, you can say a new thing.
How do you know? Maybe communism would break out. Everybody be like, we need to really, get along now because nobody's got power.
Yeah, yeah. Well, all those things in theory are good ideas. It's just once they're spun through humans is where they all get screwed up.
Yes, so true. So this last little feature, I'm going to call the interruptible rant. So I wrote a little bit of a rant on something, and you're just going to jump in and interrupt me as I go through it.
No. I'm not letting you start. I'm going to ruin your whole premise because I'm not letting you start. It's like, well, time's up. All right, go ahead.
Highly interruptive rant.
Yeah.
So yeah, the president of Myanmar was deposed and imprisoned this week, in a military coup. Which, first of all, what's Myanmar? Do you know where that is?
I think it's right next to Malamar. It's a very chocolatey type land.
You know why you don't know Myanmar? Because it used to be called Burma.
Yeah, I forgot. I remember Mission to Burma, which was kind of an early punk band, I think in the 80s.
Yeah, people kind of know Burma. They kind of know, okay, Burma is somewhere over there close to India and Asia. We've at least heard about it, but they switched it to Myanmar, which is a bad relabeling. Burma is kind of cool. Burmese, it sounds like a place you could go to.
Yeah, like the Python. Actually, before Burma, it was actually known as filibuster, but then it was changed, rebranded to Burma long ago.
I like it. What do you call somebody from Myanmar? Like, what's their thing? Is it Myanmartians? Is it? What's the full? Like Burmesians? Like you're Burmesian, I guess. But
right. Well, do you know that if you live in Fillmore, they call each other Philmorons for real? As I heard people talk, we're Philmorons. It's like, okay, all right.
And you don't even get the fact that that's a problem because you're a
because hey, we live it. We are Philmorons.
It's funny. My big problem with all this is the word coup. I'm on to words today: filibuster and then coup. That's not nearly an intense enough word for what it describes. If a pigeon can make that sound, you can't call that, a bloody military insurrection in a country. Coup doesn't work.
No. I need we need some sort of, I'm just thinking, once again, as an emoji, why are we going through all the trouble with a word when simple sort of emoji will do the trick?
What would the emoji for coup be? Like a tank and like a guy standing in front of it?
Yeah, I guess that would be the military coup. Yeah, maybe just a little thing like that, or you know, they all end up in jail, so maybe a jail cell. I don't know. I mean, the other one with the arms folded was easy for filibuster, but the coup one, maybe, and again, that could be a good contest. We need a coup emoji. A coup
Yeah. Okay.
emoji
So we'll
is
make
what we need.
that the contest this week. Like, send us in your ideas for coup emojis.
Yeah.
What about like a prison, like a pigeon?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Pigeon in a cage or some. Yeah. It's like
Pigeon
our
coop, like,
wings with
yeah,
their wings clipped. Pigeon with the wings clipped because it's like, oh, you
yeah,
were
like a pigeon
president,
in a
now you're
straight
not.
jacket. Just like,
Yeah.
it's too soft. The word's too soft for what it is. And there's a few words like that, like kidnapping. Like, that's a kid taking a nap. That describes, it's far more horrible than what it sounds like.
Yeah. It doesn't have fit. It's like, yeah, it underplays it.
Very
Kidnapping.
much, right?
Oh, where's Billy? Kidnapping.
And it's adults that get kidnapped too. They don't
Yeah.
change the word for the age.
Yeah. You know, adult nap or, mom nap or,
Like,
yeah,
kid
you're
is a
right.
good word and nap is a good word. How can, when you combine them, they turn into like a horrible, horrible word?
They don't paint the picture, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And if you want a picture, then you just need another emoji.
And another
I
emoji.
see. I see how yeah. It's just a smiley face with, a duct tape around it.
Yeah, that one would work. Kidnapped.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I looked it up, and kid is supposed to be referring to goats, and nap is a variation of nab. So originally, it was about stealing somebody's goat, their young goat.
Oh,
But again,
huh.
English has a lot of words. Did you have to really borrow that one to drop onto human theft?
Yeah. No, yeah, I know. Well, although I think what happens is it gets paired up with something that it makes sense. The Lindbergh baby was kidnapped. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. So, once you heard that, you're like, oh, okay, kidnapping it is. No, it said goat napping.
But you think of, like, you do, like with the Lindbergh baby, because that matched up with baby in a crib. Like, as soon as you
Yeah.
hear, you're actually in the, space with that baby getting taken out of the crib.
Yeah, that fits. But like, who is it? Is it her? No, Getty. Getty was an adult, right? J. Paul Getty's kid was, and they cut off his ear, so you think it would have something more to do with your ear than it would kidnapping.
I agree. Pete Buttigieg got confirmed this week. Secretary of the Treasury, or not Treasury, Transportation Secretary.
Yeah.
First openly gay cabinet member.
Yeah, I think it's I have no joke other than that it's, I think it's a good idea. It's about time. And,
Why do they need that adjective? Why does that adjective get thrown in there to give him like a little extra gayness?
Which adjective? The first gay
Openly.
Transportation? Openly gay. Yeah, because, for many years, and they weren't so open about it.
Does that mean are they questioning Casper Weinberger somewhere?
Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's like, maybe, when you go to, he's like at a Starbucks and he's ordering, Pete your name, and the guy goes, "You're gay?" He goes, "Oh yeah, openly." Like, oh, okay.
It's just a weird adjective to carry around.
Yeah.
It doesn't get applied to any other sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Like openly bondage, submissive. President, Pierce, Vice President Pence, like the first openly submissive fetish man in politics. Like, it doesn't carry anywhere else, I've noticed.
Well, I guess the other way would be if it's like you term somebody not openly gay. this, oh, what about that guy? Oh, he's not openly gay. Like, is he gay? I'm not saying that. He's just not open about whether he is or not.
Well, that's everybody. That's almost everybody else, right? If you're not,
Yeah,
if you
right.
have not like been, you haven't taken a stance on the issue, you haven't gotten a adjective yet, then you're not openly gay by definition.
Yeah. But you know what? It's one of those things where people go, oh, okay, another guy got somewhere and he's openly gay. Open. Oh, very open about it. Have I told you
You
I'm
can't shut him
gay?
up
I'm
about
like,
it.
yes.
He
Yeah,
will.
just gay. I'm gay. Well, I get it. But what? So you want 2% milk or whole milk? It's like, well, as long as you're serving it to an openly gay man, I'm good with it.
Yeah, pretty funny. So do you have any jokes for anything you thought of this week that you want to cap this off with? Any good Eddie jokes?
Well, you know what? No, I've used them all previous. I blended them into your little world.
Well done.
I actually was writing more about the con. My joke this week was in writing and was about the long con and the short con and about accomplices and about kind of what happened with Trump is the same as a 3-card Monte. Fox News is the guy who wins. And like, oh, well, if they win at 3-card, I could do it. And then the cops come along, somebody comes along and goes, cops, and they all run with the money. It's like, well, oh, that was too bad. I couldn't win my money back. So my takeaway is if you're in the middle of a con and you don't know who the mark is, it's you.
Totally on point.
Yes. That was my big thought. I was busy with actually trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Over the week. Yeah.
Well, I do this out of my 18th battery, the one that's sitting over here. Like I'll just see something fill it up over here a little bit and kind of come back to it. But I did notice, like they say, this is my last thought for the week. They say ignorance is bliss, but from what I can tell, those people are really pissed off. Like I see the ignorant all the time, and they don't look blissed out
They
at
don't
all.
look happy. No. I think that's the key. That whole movement is just anger, ignorance, and anger. You have those two, you basically have a new party, the Republican Party. It's like what? And to wrap it all up, they just need an ignorance and anger emoji, and then you can put it out there, replace it with CPAC, and everyone's happy. It's like, well, all right, I'm in jail for 20 years, but at least I got a new emoji.
Hey, the AI party, angry and ignorant.
Yeah.
Come to us.
I did talk to somebody who realized that you do know somebody who just will not give anything up. And it's almost like dealing with a Scientologist. It's like, hey, you know what? That person's a great writer. He's a great comedian. He's very good at fixing cars. Just don't talk to him about religion. And it's like, and don't talk about government. No government stuff. Keep away from that, and everything's good. Because he's a normal person until all of a sudden it's like, aliens discovered Earth, and I'm like, okay, let's get back to talking cars.
Yeah, it's like there's just one little weird spot in their head, like a park, where all the crazy goes and hangs out, and you just have to go around the park all the time and just stay away from it. Like I worked for a guy who was a Scientologist once, and I was his head joke writer, and he wouldn't do any joke about Tom Cruise or Travolta. That was, absolutely would not do them. And I would put one in every submission just so, and I would work on it to make it the best joke, just so I would maybe torture him a little bit going, it's a good joke, but I can't take my shots at John or Tom.
Right. Yeah. They're the top. They're this close to talking to those aliens when they come back.
Well, they probably are the aliens, right? I mean, that's why Tom Cruise sometimes flakes out. Like he gets so weird because his programming goes off a little bit and they have to reorient him with a laser beam, from the Jewish satellites out there.
Yeah.
And
tone him up a little bit. Yeah. I could buy that. Now, that I could see more. I mean, because really, if you're an alien coming down, it's like, hey, I figured this out, how to be Tom Cruise and how, to make all this money and people love me, as opposed to like, oh, what did you do? You're Tom Cruise. What about you? Anal probe. How's that working out? They don't seem to like it. I don't know. I should have been, what are you? Oh, I'm John Travolta. I had this unbelievable career, married, and yeah. Okay, I got to get out of the anal probe business.
Like, oh, we could do that? They told me we
Yeah,
could
wait a minute.
anal probes.
Yeah, like I picked, and it's like it's like I told you shouldn't have dropped out of school because you know what? If you 2 more years and you could have been a celebrity, but you went, you went to BOCES, and now you went for the anal probe courses.
Straight up anal probes. It's DeVry.
Exactly.
That's the DeVry alien.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing but alien probes.
And he goes, yeah, but I get to keep the tools. Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
Well, cool, man. This was fun.
Yeah,
little
I
speed
enjoyed
comedy,
it anytime.
little politics, but funny. That's the idea. And I got a little light on my face there. Look at that production.
Yeah. Your follow spot.
My follow spot, like tiny, like it only wants my left eye to be famous. Right there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll circle back around,
anytime.
man. Thanks.
Yep, very good. Okay, thanks,
All right,
Dan.
see ya.
All right, bye.